We are Geeks Not Nerds. I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Bat Vince.
Vince, today is Unconfirmed Rumor Day.
Special day.
It's Unconfirmed Rumor Day. Today we're going to talk about an unconfirmed rumor.
8th annual Unconfirmed Rumor Day.
And today's 8th annual Unconfirmed Rumor Day comes from Mexican Dicer, who asks us this question, Vince. Would we like to see a Batman live-action series based on the Nolan-verse after Nolan is done making his last Batman movie? Because, of course, we never talk nearly enough about the Nolan Batman films. And
so why do people think this is happening?
Because there was an unconfirmed rumor, Vince, thus the day. And yeah, this popped up on comicbookmovie.com and some other places, and they're all labeling it rumor in big letters, which makes me happy. I'm glad that nobody is claiming that this is real, because it doesn't look very real. And anyway, the apparent thing is that there was like some source executive at Warner Brothers who was saying that you know, maybe there would be a Batman series after the Nolan films. But whoever posted this, who it looks like it's made up. So whoever made this up was saying that like it was an executive who had helped put together like Friends and ER and West Wing and a bunch of stuff. One of the articles I read said they had done some research, and of course, I mean, I don't know what the research was, but they said they'd done some research and tried to find out if there was any producer who had worked on, and there was like you know, half a dozen or more shows that was mentioned, who had worked on all these different shows, and they couldn't find one who had worked on all the shows that was mentioned. So it does seem very bogus. What are you doing? Just eating everything you can find. Anyway,
I don't have popcorn.
Anyway, so it looks pretty bogus. But anyway, but it got people thinking. And so the question is not, you know, whether or not they're actually doing it. The question is, would we like to see it happen if maybe they thought about doing it? Because I don't think that it's an especially far-fetched thing that they might consider doing this. So don't get me wrong, it could happen, but it doesn't look like that it is at the moment. So anyway, that's the deal.
So should it happen?
Should it happen? What do we think? Would we like to see it?
Ideally, yes, I would love to see it.
But
I don't think that they could find a TV network short of HBO, Showtime, or Starz that could have a budget that would, for any particular episode, they could have a budget to where it would echo what they did in the movies. I think people...
Would it have to look just like those movies to work?
I think fans would get a little disappointed to turn on the TV show and say, well, this is nothing like the movie.
Boy, I don't agree with that. I think you could do the same tone. I think you could do a lot more location shooting. I mean, they did a lot of location shooting in both movies, but I mean, like, you know, you wouldn't have to. They built so much of the city in the first movie, and then they did a lot more Chicago in the second one. But like, I'm just saying that like you could do a lot of location shooting. You could build a few standing sets. It would cost a lot to get started, but once you had the sets built, I'm just saying, like, if you really think about it, you know, I don't know if it would have to look exactly like the movies. Like that's the reason Lucas keeps throwing around for why the live action Star Wars show hasn't happened yet. Is, well, we can't figure out a way to make it, you know, less than like you know, $32 million an episode or some obscure figure. And I'm like, yeah, well, the reason you keep saying that is because you don't understand the idea of minimalism. Is that you think that in order for people to watch your live-action Star Wars shows, it must have the big, giant, huge fight sequences that you think make for a good movie, and you don't think that people sitting around in a room talking can be interesting. What I'm saying is, I think that if you make it more minimalistic and you don't make it real effects heavy, that you can make it look a lot better than the money you're actually putting into it. It's all about how you shoot it, and it's all about what you're having people do, I think.
I'm not saying that I need it. I'm saying that I think a general audience might be a little disappointed by it.
Maybe I'd like to think that you're not giving like fans enough credit. That's what I'd like to think. I like to think that that people understand what good writing is, even if they can't put it into words. You know what I mean? Where like you know, somebody can watch something and okay, I'm going to bring this up. I'm thinking of Battlestar when I'm thinking about this because Battlestar, it looks, I mean, and there's money behind that show, but I mean, like, so much of that show is people standing in rooms talking, but it looks epic, and it's all about how it's shot, and it's all about how it's written. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I haven't seen the show.
Oh, sure, so. Sure. I've been watching it, finally, been getting into it and really enjoying it. But anyway, I don't want to make this about that, but I'm just saying that I just think that if it's written right, it doesn't have to have the same, big giant budget that the movies have.
Well, no, you're right. You can make a good series based on the Nolanverse that doesn't have to have the budget that the Nolanverse did. And
why does it have to be in the same continuity? Why can't it just be based on the continuity?
I did enjoy the MTV Spider-Man series that they put out that was loosely based on the Spider-Man movies.
It was kind of loosely based on all the movies that had come out that far because they had a Black Kingpin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good show.
It wasn't bad.
It was only 13 episodes, so I don't know what that was about, but it was good.
Well, I'm going to do it this way. With your argument, I mean, I'm not saying that, I know you're saying that, like, it wouldn't bother you, but, like, if the fact that it didn't look as big budget as the movies would be enough to turn off fans, wouldn't the fact that we had to recast everybody be enough to turn off the fans?
That's a good point.
I mean, you're basically saying you can't even do the show. You know what I mean? Like you'd have to recast everybody, obviously.
Maybe.
And to make it work, you'd probably have to get a lot of people that, nobody's necessarily heard of.
We did see the article on there that said that they were going to have Joker in the show, just recast as a different guy, right?
Yeah, and the article was saying that, and again, grain of salt because it's a rumor, but like the article was saying that if they did it, they wouldn't even necessarily do the Heath Ledger portrayal of the Joker. It would like be an entirely different kind of Joker. But the other thing too, and we need to get into this, is that if they were to do it, like we're talking about how we think it should be done, if they were going to stay true to Nolan's verse, and if they were going to really step it up and make it a good, serious, cerebral show. But if they were going to do it, it would probably be on the CW, and the chance of cerebral there is not very good. Yeah. The article was saying things like, we want someone like Carl Urban to play Batman.
I don't even know who that is, unfortunately.
That was Bones in the new Star Trek movie.
Oh.
It's not Batman?
They just want a guy with a strong jaw and kind of a furrowed brow, huh?
Yes.
All right.
So, I mean, you can tell the direction they're thinking in that article we read. So, anyway.
Initially I thought it would be best to do it as an animated show, but I don't know.
Animated?
Yeah, animated, because they could pull off what they couldn't do with a big budget.
You think there's any chance of popularity with a serious animated show? And like they never even get it at prime time.
You see, you have a good point there.
That never happens.
And
I wish it did.
We have a budding podcast topic here on animated shows in relation to adults.
How animation should be maybe taken more seriously? Yeah, we should talk about it. Maybe there's a podcast coming very soon, Vince.
Very, very soon, we might record it later tonight.
You could see it Tuesday. It could happen. You may have watched it already. Anyway, good.
It's possible.
it's possible.
But, yes, there is a certain kind of show that CW puts out. And, I mean, even as much as I liked Supernatural, and I watched through the end of Season 5, I haven't watched Season 6. But the end of Season 5, which should have been the end, you can very much so feel the CW oozing out of it. You know it's just a part of it. And
what kind of blood type is CW, man?
I think...
Negative?
Yes.
Negative.
I think that that what they would be doing is just milking Batman for all that they could possibly get out of it if it were to be on the CW.
And that's unfair because it's got such potential for a live-action show. The thing about Batman, as opposed to other superheroes, is that it can be minimalistic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't have to be a big special effects picture. I mean, special effects show. I mean, you know, you're going to have some stunt work and stuff like that, but I mean, shows do that. But I mean, a lot of networks are really straying away from genre shows right now. We don't have a lot of big science fiction shows on right now. We don't have a lot of big fantasy shows. You know, they're trying to save money and they're going for reality shows and things like that. I think Batman is probably in like the top 3 or 4 genre type shows that would immediately be successful no matter what you did.
Unless it was animated.
Yeah, but that's just because of where it would be put and the fact that it wouldn't be put in the prime time and it wouldn't be advertised right. But I'm just saying that like as far as a live action series went, that would immediately get huge press. It would do gangbusters.
You do have a point. There is very little. little unrealistic elements in the Nolan verse, so therefore it could translate to a television.
They don't even use a lot of CG in that. He's all about practical effects.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, it costs a lot of money to do what they do with that, but it wouldn't. I mean, it would look TV. Okay, it would be a smaller budget, but I think people could get their minds around it if they did it right. So anyway, I'd love to see it on the right network. I think the best place for it would be Sci-Fi Channel.
I still think the best place for it would be like Stars.
But the problem is it couldn't. It probably couldn't make as much money there as it could on something like Sci-Fi Channel.
Well, yeah, I suppose there is a difference considering that.
Well, there's a different cable package.
Yeah.
I mean, not everybody has Stars.
More people would see Sci-Fi than they would see Stars.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, these days Sci-Fi Channel is on like a lot of basic cable plans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking.
Yeah, your brain is working.
It is. It's going. Anyway, so what do you think? Would you like to see a live action Batman show, and how would it work? I'm sorry, I just thought of something I meant to say. Can I make one more quick point? No. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to make another quick point. Because honestly, this was going to be the crux of my argument. I totally forgot to talk about it. Anyway, I just want to mention real fast that the biggest reason that I think it would be really cool if it was done right is because of how little time the Nolan films span. And the first two movies are only in the period of a few months, right? And then I'm sure the third one's not going to go much farther beyond that. So really, you have the makings of the setup of early Batman, and then you keep going with it. There's a lot of stuff that we never would have wanted to see on the big screen that would work great on the small screen that nobody would complain about. And once you know what I mean? Like I don't know, like the Penguin as a regular villain in a live action TV show would be fine in a way that it might not be on the big screen. So, I don't know, I just think that, it has a lot of potential for numerous seasons, because, heck, they could do arcs based on big comic book arcs really easily.
Yeah, but as we've seen in the past, a lot of companies tend to shy away from the actual comic book stories, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
They have this wealth of information that they can do. It sounds like another topic.
It does, indeed. Well, this has just been the gift that keeps on giving. Anyway, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about this particular topic. It's very interesting, and I'm sure plenty of people will have opinions, Vince. And also, if you have a topic or something you'd like us to talk about for another, I almost said podcast, for another Geeks Not Nerds, leave that in the comments as well. And thanks a lot for watching. I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Vince, reminding you to support your local comic book store.
We'll see you next time.
Now I'm going to pick those up.
and wipe it off my camera.
Ow, my knee.